Yeah, I want to talk about this DaddyOFive thing because I had an opinion of it on the Drunken Peasants that a lot of people got upset about. And I knew a lot of people would be upset by my opinion on this because, I saw the lynch mob. I saw the witch hunt. And I thought to myself, well, I definitely should not comment on this because my opinion is probably not welcome. And I saw anyone even attempting to, quote unquote, defend DaddyOFive just getting lambasted. You support child abuse. You're a horrible person, blah, 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 blah. Now, what I said on the Drunken Peasants podcast is that I think this is part of what I call coddle culture. This is part of what George Carlin called the continued pussification of the American male. Now, for a little context, I was raised in the South. I was raised in Louisiana. It was pretty commonplace for me to have, I'd talk to my friends and shit. And like I had a friend, Nick, who if he back-talked his dad, he'd get a fucking smack right across his face. And we're not talking like a little light love tap here. We're talking like full-on wapow. And that was not looked at as being abuse in that area. That, no one around that town, that place, looked at that kind of parenting and said, oh, that's wrong or anything. That was just like, this is cool, this is expected. And even very recently, like on YouTube and stuff, there's these parents, their kid gets a fucking C in math or something, and the parent destroys their kid's Xbox. And everyone says, oh, that's tough love. That's discipline. And I immediately called those people out and was like, no, that's not discipline. That's not tough love. That's just an asshole parent. I don't think I ever went so far as to say that's child abuse, though. But now we've somehow, from parents breaking their kids' Xboxes for real because they got a C on a test, and people saying, yeah, good parenting, tough love. We've gone from that to just a scant, like 5 or 6 years later, a parent pretending to smash their kid's Xbox, not really even smashing it, and that being like, oh, that's fucking child abuse. That's fucking horrible. Now, I don't know everything about this DaddyOFive shit because I really don't care. I've watched a little bit of content about it, and I've seen a few people make the cases for abuse. And there's even a few videos that I think make good cases for the abuse. Cody, I guess that's the kid's name, right? Getting pushed into a fucking a shelf. I mean, I look at that that's a pussy ass push, dude. That kid barely touched that fucking shelf. Doesn't even look like that was intended. So whatever on that. I guess there was another video where a kid was told to smack his own sister in the face. Now that's fucked up. I think you could definitely say that's fucking abuse. But a lot of this stuff that's being called abuse, like I just don't know, man. When I was growing up, that never in a million years would have been labeled abuse. And I'm not saying that the standards that existed when I was a kid, where I lived, are the correct standards or that, that's the right way to view things. All I'm saying is that, that's not how we viewed it then. Your fucking dad could yell at you. I saw a fucking video where because the dad woke up the kids with a bullhorn, it's like, that's abuse. Dude, my dad would always come up with fucking shitty, horrible ways to wake me up in the morning. He'd come in my room at 6 in the morning and do this little rise and shine. Birds are singing, sun is shining. Start of a new day. Wake up. Intentionally trying to fucking annoy the piss out of me. Waking me up super fucking early in the morning. And it was never fucking abuse. It was never considered abuse. My dad fucking singled out my brother Scotty for more shit than he singled me out as. You know, he would fucking pick on Scotty, you know? He'd be like, he'd just tell Scotty shit like, Scotty, someone said you stink. And I said, like shit he does, you know? And that would be something he'd say constantly. Just fucking picking at him, tearing him apart. You know, nothing was ever good enough for my fucking dad. If we didn't have girlfriends, he would fucking mock us for not getting pussy like he would be if he was young like us. You know, he'd be like, you know, I should be jealous of you boys. I should be jealous. I should be jealous of all the fine-ass bitches you're bringing back home, but instead, you boys can't do nothing. And then if one of us would get a girlfriend, he'd immediately switch to, you boys just obsessed. You under the pussy ether, boy. You under the pussy ether. Need to get your mind in the game. Need to focus on things that matter. Quit being a poon hound. You know, so my dad was just this unpleasable fuck with crazy standards. He would yell at us over fucking anything. You know, he'd fucking send me to the goddamn Dairy Queen. And, you know, to get him an ice cream cone. And if I brought an ice cream cone back that was too melted, he'd fucking yell about that shit. You know? So, I mean, maybe the reason I don't want to fucking say that this DaddyOFive shit is abuse is because if I say that that's abuse, then I have to look back at my own childhood and say, well, I was abused too. And I really just genuinely, in my heart of hearts, don't really feel like I was abused. I just feel like my dad was an asshole. And a lot of people are presenting me with this false narrative, this false dichotomy that says that if I don't think that DaddyOFive is a child abuser, then I must approve of the way he parents his kids. No, I don't. I think he's an asshole to his kids. I think that he's a piece of shit. I just don't know that if, for me, it crosses that line into fucking abuse. I don't personally feel like it is. And I feel like that's kind of a semantic thing at some point. Because it's just a word that means whatever you want it to mean. You know, you could say that the smallest little slight against your kid is abuse. You know, are we going to see the argument made at some point, hey, your kid wanted chicken McNuggets and you didn't get them chicken McNuggets? That's abuse because your kid cried and was very upset by that, and that was a traumatic moment for the poor little brat. Are we going to see that happening in 20 years? Because at this rate, that seems to be where we're fucking going. But, you know, maybe I'm totally wrong on this. Maybe my fucking perspective is totally fucked. And you know what? I'm not a parent. I don't want to be a parent. I don't like kids. Never fucking have. Never fucking will. So maybe my perspective is totally distorted. Maybe it's distorted by my own upbringing. Maybe it's distorted by the people I was raised around. Maybe it's distorted by the time and the geography that I spent my childhood in. Maybe it's distorted by the fact that I had a loud, angry father and a loud, angry stepfather, and I never felt like I was abused by them. And I don't want to go back and revise my own history to say to myself that I was abused by them. So there's lots of things going on where maybe I'm just resistant or hesitant to do this for my own personal, emotional fucking reasons. But I don't think I should be fucking lambasted and dragged through the fucking mud and called a moron and insulted just because I don't agree with people that this is fucking child abuse. I mean, look, there's plenty of fucking instances of child abuse that I can agree with you it's child abuse. If someone's fucking putting cigarettes out on their kid's arm, child abuse. If someone's punching their kid in the face, child abuse. If someone's not feeding their kid, child abuse. If someone's molesting their kid, child abuse. There's plenty of fucking instances where I can point to it and say that definitively right there is fucking child abuse. But this just isn't one of them for me. And I feel like there's this fucking angry mob that doesn't even allow you to have that opinion. If you dare have the opinion that DaddyOFive isn't the worst fucking child abuser to ever walk the face of the earth, then it's almost like you're a child abuse supporter. Like, goddamn, can't we have a fucking discussion about this? Can't we talk about it like fucking mature, civilized fucking adults? Can't we have differing opinions? Can't we offer up different fucking points of view, different fucking perspectives? Talk about where this line is, why it should be where it is, things like that. But it seems like there's no interest in discussion. There's just interest in a fucking witch hunt. And I feel like the only reason that this is really the big issue that it is because there's video of it. Because this fucking family chose to film this happening. It's just like no one ever gives a shit about the murders that they hear about on the news every night. But then when one crazy fuck films himself committing a murder, then that's the worst murder ever. That's the murder everyone's fucking upset about. You could hear about kidnappings left and right. Oh, this person was kidnapped. This person was kidnapped. This person was kidnapped. This person was tortured. And people get upset. But if there's video of it, then all of a sudden it's so much worse. It's so much worse because you can actually see it happening. But it's not actually worse. It's not worse just because you see it happen. It's just a more fucking vivid example in your mind. That's all it is. You know, rape. Plenty of girls are raped every single fucking day. Plenty of men and boys are raped every single fucking day, but no one gives a shit. But the second there's a video, the second some fucking group of retards live streams themselves raping a girl, that's when everyone gets upset. That's when everyone suddenly fucking cares. And there's tons of asshole parents across this country. There's tons of parents that are inarguably way worse than DaddyOFive. 3 million fucking kids abused in this fucking country. 5 kids a day dying from abuse and from neglect in this country every single fucking day. But is that what gets the ire of the public? Is that what everyone's fucking forming a lynch mob about? Hell no. They're forming a lynch mob about this fucking YouTube asshole. This guy who pranks his kids and exploits them and does this tasteless shit. If maybe that's abuse, maybe that's not abuse. But at the end of the day, is that the worst abuse going on? Even if it is abuse, is that even close to the worst fucking child abuse that's happening? No, it's just the fucking child abuse that we have video of. And you know what? I think it's very telling that this fucking channel, this DaddyOFive channel, existed for a long time and was super popular and was pretty much completely uncontroversial until Philip DeFranco made a video against it, and now all of a sudden, holy shit. No one's even allowed to defend this guy now. No one's allowed to defend this guy in any capacity, or they're against the will of the mob. And people want to tell me this isn't just a witch hunt. People want to tell me this isn't just a lynch mob. People want to tell me that this isn't just a bunch of herd mentality motherfuckers getting behind an idea and defending it at all costs. Come on, people. Let's be fucking rational about this. This channel was on the fucking internet for years, and no one gave a shit. No one was upset. People watch these very same videos that are now pointed to as evidence of child abuse, and no one even fucking had a cross thought about it. No one thought for a second this is child abuse until some popular YouTuber said, hey guys, I think this is child abuse. And then a bunch of people jumped on the bandwagon, and now anyone who questions it is a fucking bad guy. Now anyone who dares to fucking have an opinion outside of the Philip DeFranco crafted narrative is an automatic villain in the eyes of the fucking lynch mob. I think it's fucked up. I think it's stupid. All right? I guess that's pretty much all I have to say about it. I don't really care to talk about it much beyond this. I just had to get my fucking opinion out there. And if you don't like it, I'm sorry. But that's what I feel. That's what I think. Let's fucking be mature about shit for once. Come on. Let's fucking actually use our brains and independent thought and not just be followers. Please.